Hey, this is the Review Junkie, and today I'll be reviewing the new action movie Meg 2: The Trench. As always, my review will be illustrated and the artwork is done by myself. And if you like movies, art, and comic books, please hit that subscribe button because all my reviews are hand drawn and I like to get to 1,000 subscribers soon so my channel can be official. This movie stars Jason Statham, Jing Woo, Sophia Kai, Cliff Curtis, and Paige Kennedy. It is directed by Ben Wheatley. Now, this is a non-spoiler review, so everything I discuss will have been shown in the trailer. Absolutely no spoilers. I'll tell you briefly about the plot, the characters, my pros and cons, final thoughts, and if this is worth checking out at your local movie theater. So, the story actually picks up 6 years after the original. Jason's character is fighting eco-terrorism, and at the same time, he's been asked to join an underwater expedition in the trenches, which is literally like at the bottom of the sea, because there's something going on down there. At the same time, this corporation that is funding all of these research projects have been studying a megalodon for many years. So when they're in the trenches, it becomes a sequence of horrible things that go haywire, and so the story begins. So I was surprised this got a sequel, and when I saw the trailer, I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna watch that. That looks fun. The first one was enjoyable. It's not a masterpiece, but fun. And it's a brainless summer popcorn movie. And we need those kind of movies, right? Like sometimes I just don't want to use my brain. I just want to sit in an AC cool theater, drink a soda, and enjoy. So I did have a good time here, and I think it's slightly better than the first one, but not by much. The first thing is Jason. To me, he saved this whole movie. We're here for him and the giant sharks. He's just a likable action star and has a tinge of humor in every line he delivers. He's one of those actors with the natural funny bone gene built in. I feel like at this point, he's just cast to be himself, and that doesn't really bother me because he has good screen presence and is so darn likable. He was very committed, and it's a good time every time he's on screen. I thought the set pieces were great and interesting. They look well constructed and had a sci-fi element to it like aliens. They're in this tight, confined space, and all of that just added to their underwater expedition, including the danger they were in. I also like the new elements they added. We have the dinosaurs as seen in the trailer. There are 3 sharks, a giant octopus, and other creatures. All of this stuff was great, and I couldn't wait to see where they take all of that and how it factors into the overall story. So let me segue to my cons because all of those new elements are also the biggest problems. The premise is crazy, but they never embrace it all the way. Instead of going to a level 15 with the zaniness, they keep it tame at a level 7. Not sure if it's because they're trying to stay within their budget, but all of the new things don't get additional context. It's just plopped in and ignored. For example, we see the giant octopus in the trailer, but that big fight moment is short-lived, and I wanted a big and long fight sequence, but we don't get one. And not to spoil anything, but one of the sharks is sending out signals. Like her kitty cat is meowing non-stop, like loud meows, if you know what I mean. Okay. But that too kind of gets glossed over. There are several villains and several twists and reveals, but none of it was shocking in any way, and it was the way it was delivered. It wasn't executed properly. I didn't care for any of them, and I thought they were wasted. Next is the CGI. It was not bad, and it looked the best in the dark while they're in the trenches because during the T-Rex sequence, it looked very bad. These small dinosaurs looked like a PlayStation 2 video game. Now, the daughter from the first movie returns and is played by the same person, but for some reason I didn't even know it was her. She was another wasted character and added nothing. And on top of that, she didn't even look 14, but she was when this was filmed. She looked like a 30-year-old dressed to look as juvenile as possible. And why does she have Sailor Moon meatball pigtails in an action movie? The only thing missing was a baby doll dress. You're 14, so act your age, damn it. Okay. So I like that the sharks were sparingly used and they get the most screen time in the third act, but at the same time, I wish we got more of them. And the third act is also where everything just kind of veers off to cartoon territory. There are a lot of things here that just don't make any sense. So Jason's working out and wearing a thick sweater. Why? Who does that? When they're at the bottom of the ocean, they need to get to safety, and they make it seem like there's a safety hub a block away, like they're going to the corner bodega to get chips. There's one character who's about to die, and she starts looking for chewing gum. She might as well check if there's any antibacterial soap for her hands or a maxi pad while she was at it. And lastly, I feel so bad for saying this, but Paige Kennedy was really here to give us comedy, and his stunts and some of the things he's asked to do is so poorly delivered. It looked like they wanted him to fail and look bad. Like nothing was stylized, and the action he's asked to do was just horrible. So this brings me to my final thoughts, and this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I feel bad for shitting on this movie, and it actually isn't horrible. I was glued to the screen the whole time because there were interesting things going on that held my attention, but they never fully flesh it out. They let me look at the outside of something juicy and immediately lock it up. Just wasted potential. And despite all of that, it is a summer popcorn movie that doesn't require a lot of thinking, so I would still recommend you check this out on the big screen where it's meant to be seen, especially if you're a big Jason fan. So thanks again for checking out my review. If you like, please subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot. Hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share this with your friends. And if you happen to have a movie you'd like me to review, please let me know. I'd be happy to watch and illustrate it for a future video. Thanks again, and I hope the pictures put a smile on your face.